family then informed him that there was another possible father, and it probably was because at that time you even said you believed it was the other guy's child.
The reason for doubts in any paternity case is because there is always another guy lurking in the shadows of being the potential father of the child in question. Just like almost every other man that believes the child is for the other man, Mr. Horn also believes this same thing, but the DNA test results will shed more light on the situation. Will it be the other guy or Mr. Horn? Let's investigate this case thoroughly.
Mr. Horn, you had a wild weekend 3 decades ago and now find yourself in court to prove that you are not the biological father.
Okay, it's looking a little bit rough around the edges from the very beginning. Mr. Horn claimed it was a wild night from 3 decades back, and he has never even met the alleged result of the wild night. But what he knows for sure is that he didn't father Ms. Mannion's son. On the other hand, Ms. Mannion also did agree that it was a very wild weekend, but she's certain without a doubt that Mr. Horn is the father of her son.
Received a shocking phone call 5 years ago. Tell the court what happened.
I was at work. I got a phone call from a family member who never calls me at work. Asked me if I remembered a certain name.
A railroad track being laid all across America? Oh no, that line has depth, but it's completely wrong. Mr. Horn tried to claim Ms. Mannion was everywhere, but he got a lick too. And that just includes him in the same circus he's trying to condemn. Ms. Mannion defends herself saying Mr. Horn's claim is completely false. Okay, ma'am.
So, you had the phone conversation and you basically told him
That there's no way I could be the father.
Ms. Mannion?
Yes, Your Honor.
He called your son and he basically said there's no possible way he could be his biological father.
He is the father.
Ms. Mannion further laid emphasis on her claim saying Mr. Horn is her son's biological father, even though they were 2 guys she was messing around with at that time. However, the other man is out of the picture as he had already had a DNA test done and it came back negative. So Mr. Horn is the only man left in the potential father pool to Ms. Mannion's son.
A party on the weekend at an apartment complex of a buddy of mine's. She showed up. I didn't really have a clue who she was. We started chatting. She kept coming on to me.
That is a lie.
Best alarm clock, These grown-up folks acting like kids in high school, especially Mr. Horn. A man's paternity is on the line, and all Mr. Horn wants to keep ranting about is how sexually explicit he and Ms. Mannion were 3 decades ago. Whew! Ms. Mannion denied Mr. Horn's claim, saying he was even the one that came on to her first.
Did you ever hear she was pregnant?
I found out that she was pregnant after she had the child. I ran into the dude that she was dating at the time. He said he took a DNA test, but he never seen the results.
Wait a minute, Ms. Mannion never got the result of the first DNA testing from the other potential father? Now the story has changed a little bit, and it can make a big difference. Ms. Mannion not knowing what the outcome of the result was gives Mr. Horn more confidence to think he's not the biological father of her son.
Who did your mother lead you to believe was your biological father from the beginning?
Well, I was with my grandparents for the first 5 years of my life.
Okay.
I considered them my mom and dad, and I kept calling her Christina.
That's another entirely different story from Mr. Haight. Initially, Mr. Haight believed his grandparents were his parents. It later changed to him believing his father was the man Ms. Mannion got married to. Finally, Mr. Haight realized it has all been a lie and he doesn't really know who his father is.
What did your mother tell you at that point?
I asked her who he was, and she gave me the name Kevin Horn the very first time.
The first time you asked?
The first time I asked.
And she had absolutely no doubt in her mind?
She had no doubt in her mind.
Mr. Haight stored the information in his memory for future purposes, and here we are. The future is now. Ms. Mannion is convinced that Mr. Horn is the father of her son, even though there are some irregularities in the story, but most times, folks believe a woman always knows. Maybe Ms. Horn will fall in that category.
She knew how to find me. She could have found me.
I didn't know how to find him.
If he is my son, I've lost 29 years of his life other than the last few years that we've been able to talk on the phone.
It looks like these two are still in their drunken state from the past 3 decades, talking over one another just to make a point that doesn't matter anymore in the grand scheme of things, tells us all we need to know about Mr. Horn and Ms. Mannion. It's time to put Mr. Haight out of his misery by finding out if Mr. Horn is his biological father or otherwise.
Case of Horn v. Mannion. When it comes to 29-year-old Andrew Haight, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Horn, you are his father.
Mr. Norris would rather function in the other world than accept he fathered Ms. Norris's son, but this is what most men claim before the DNA test result is announced. Only a few men fight to be the biological fathers of children in paternity court. But then again, these men cannot be entirely blamed for this because most women also love to chase different carrots.
Norris, you claim Johnny B. Norris Sr. has been denying he fathered your son for the past 22 years.
It's been about 22 years, and Mr. Norris is still standing by his words that he indeed didn't father Ms. Norris' son, and he cannot wait for the DNA test result to prove him right. Ms. Norris is in the other stand claiming she also cannot wait for the DNA test result to prove her right that Mr. Norris is the biological father of her son. The atmosphere is about to get heated.
Did ever acknowledge Junior as his son?
Yes, Your Honor, he did. After having my son, we were married by my father in our front yard. We had a yard wedding, Your Honor.
That was a shotgun wedding, y'all.
It's not getting heated just yet, but there are already differences in Mr. Norris and Ms. Norris's stories. Mr. Norris recounts being forced into the marriage due to the pregnancy circumstance, even though he loved Ms. Norris at the time. However, Ms. Norris says no one forced Mr. Norris as they were both in love, and the pregnancy just hastened the matrimony.
Why does he deny your son?
That I don't know, Your Honor.
His grandmother said that I wasn't his father.
I don't believe that. And if she did say that to him, it was because she was just so fed up.
Grandma caused this mess? Oh, okay. Mr. Norris was led to believe he isn't the father of the newborn child at the time, and he even took it to heart because Ms. Norris's mother used her ex's name when she tried to disclose the baby daddy. That's enough grounds to make Mr. Norris doubtful about the child's paternity, but a DNA test would have made it clear whether he was the father or not.
Your Honor, that is incorrect. I was not sleeping around with my ex. I was totally in love with Mr. Norris here.
Ms. Norris swings back saying Mr. Norris's claim isn't true, and if anyone was cheating, it was Mr. Norris. Ms. Norris says Mr. Norris disappeared on his son's birthday, which is really wrong, but Mr. Norris says things weren't as they used to be and he had no choice but to leave.
Iterating,
And he wasn't the reason why I left. It was the mom. Because her and I wasn't getting along, and there was no love there. Why hang around?
No lies. That must have been pretty deep for Mr. Norris hearing such a heartbreaking thing, considering Mr. Norris even accepted the marriage because of the pregnancy that led to the birth of the child. Hearing he isn't the father is another level of betrayal from Ms. Norris's side.
She was angry with him because the way he was treating me.
Oh.
And we wasn't getting along, and she knew that he was a cheater.
Whew, that's a whole lot to take in. Grandma did cause a ruckus, but we cannot blame Grandma just yet because she may be telling the truth. Ms. Norris claims she didn't have the right over whatever her mother said to Mr. Norris, but what she knows for sure is that Mr. Norris disappeared, and he's the father of her son.
Ms. Norris, at what point do you decide to search for Mr. Norris Sr.? When do you say, okay, he's not coming back, and that's my son's father? Where is he?
Yeah, I was like, how can somebody just abandon?
Ms. Norris says she dropped her anger about 6 years ago to reach out to Mr. Norris and gave him his son's address to fix their father and son relationship, but Mr. Norris seems to remember things differently. Mr. Norris says he doesn't recall Ms. Norris doing such a thing, but Ms. Norris reminded him of how she had been in contact with his wife. Well, Mr. Norris still cannot remember what Ms. Norris is saying.
Did you find out that your husband might have a son?
I heard rumors through the years, and I checked it out myself.
If only somebody could tell Mr. Norris that it's called Facebook and not Spacebook. Whew. Anyway, Mr. Norris says he believes it was a shotgun marriage, but he's still married regardless of the circumstance that led to it. Now there's a heartbroken wife, a man waiting to know if Mr. Norris is his biological father, and an ex-wife that isn't taking any chances with Mr. Norris. Time to let the cat out of the bag.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Norris Sr., you are not his father.
Some fathers are really interested in taking care of their children and being there for them, but it's not always that easy. The fathers that don't want to be available get the grace of the children trying to get closer to them, but the fathers that want to be fathers, the opposite of that happens to them, just like in Mr. Fritz's case.
Mr. Fritz, you state that over the last 30 years, you have searched to find your biological daughter, who you claim was taken from you as a child.
Mr. Fritz has been in search of his alleged daughter for decades, and he's ready to go to any lengths to prove Ms. Agee in the other stand is his biological daughter. And there's Ms. Agee that does not believe Mr. Fritz fathered her, and she's also in paternity court to prove that to him and make him forget all about her for good.
So adamant that Mr. Fritz is not your biological father.
Well, first off, Your Honor, he's on my birth certificate. The guy that's on my birth certificate was not my biological father. He was married to my mother when I was born, but I do know who my biological father is.
That's a lot to process, but seeing how Ms. Agee narrated her story, everyone can tell how hurt she felt back then, and even as she stands in that court. Ms. Agee doesn't believe Mr. Fritz is her father since she was told another person was her father, and that has been the only name she stuck with for decades.
I was 17 when I had my first child. I got married, and I was pregnant with my second child when I was 18. And I wanted to look for him because I was going to let him know that he has a daughter out here that
Ms. Agee's supposed father never reached out to her again, and according to Mr. Fritz, that's because he's Ms. Agee's biological father. However, Ms. Agee isn't about to get carried away with that, as she voiced her feelings saying Mr. Fritz could have come looking for her before she clocked 30 and she was married. If that town is as small as Ms. Agee mentioned, maybe she's right, but who knows what happened to Mr. Fritz in those 3 decades?
I said, hey man, when you get back in town, would you run by and let Angel's family know that I've been transferred and where I was going to come see me. After 3 months, I escaped from the penitentiary to go see my daughter, and at 2 months old, I went and seen my daughter.
You wouldn't have any recollection of an event that happened when you were 2 months old or 2 years old, Ms. Agee. Only pictures can prove that, and that's why Mr. Fritz is here in paternity with those pictures to help prove his case. Mr. Fritz got incarcerated but still found a way to be with his daughter? The bond he had with Ms. Agee must have been off the books.
I went and knocked on all the neighbors' doors. Everyone says, we don't know. They moved. We don't know where they're at.
I'm telling you, if you wanted to find me, you could have found me.
Well, I tried and I couldn't find.
Ms. Agee's pain is understandable because she was the one that felt like an abandoned kid for several years, but Mr. Fritz seemed to have tried his best too. Technology wasn't as sharp and effective decades ago as it is now, Ms. Agee. And to be fair, it seemed like Ms. Agee's maternal side wanted Mr. Fritz out of her life, seeing the way they moved out of the trailer, didn't make contact, and were nowhere to be found.
It's where she lives at. When
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Because Thomasville's a little town. I'm telling you, people talk. People know people in Thomasville. I'm sorry.
From Ms. Agee's responses, anyone can easily tell she's a feisty woman, but aside from that, just like Ms. Agee mentioned, she wants to get her feelings all out. But Mr. Fritz is also a man with feelings who never stopped looking for his daughter even after 3 decades, and he wants to talk about his feelings too.
First day that we talked, she told me she was stressed. I said, what's going on? And she says, my daughter, my baby daughter, is going out for cheerleading. I don't have enough money to get her a cheerleading outfit.
Ms. Agee wouldn't agree that Mr. Fritz is her father, but she talked about money with a false reason and accepted the money he sent that fast, and Ms. Agee is still going at it and using her anger to mask that? Okay. Anyway, Mr. Fritz did what any grandpa would do. Grandparents don't like to see their grandkids miss out on anything.
Just fearful to be hurt again, for another man to say, I'm your dad, you matter to me, and then the next thing you know, they're not there.
Exactly. You're right.
That ain't gonna happen,
in my life, and I don't want to be hurt
anymore. You ain't gonna be by yourself no more. I'm gonna tell you that.
Ms. Agee is deeply hurt, but maybe it's time to let go of the hurt and start over. Mr. Fritz says he would always be there for her, and let's believe that will stand regardless of the outcome of the DNA test result. Let's see if Mr. Fritz's intuition has been right all along.
Fritz versus Agee, pertaining to 35-year-old Shauna Agee.
Come on.
As to whether Mr. Russell Fritz is her biological father.
When 2 men are fighting over a child, then the mother has some real questions to answer. While some are running away from the responsibilities of being a father, 2 men are in paternity court trying to prove either one of them is the father, but who will it be? Mr. Lewis or Mr. Scott?
Mr. Lewis, you say for 35 years you've always known you were Miss Scott's biological father.
Now that's confusing. Mr. Lewis claims he knows he fathered Ms. Scott, and the DNA test result will prove that the 35-year-old woman is his biological daughter. Yeah, that's cool, but Mr. Scott has been the father. Ms. Scott knew all her life, as he's still even married to her mother, and he was there through her birth right up until where she is now. What a dicey situation.
Why is this so important to resolve now?
Your Honor, this is something to me has been long overdue. She is my daughter.
That's convincing, but that doesn't necessarily mean Miss Scott is Mr. Lewis's daughter. Miss Scott's mother had told Mr. Lewis that he is her father, but somehow, Mr. Scott has been in the picture as her father for decades. It gets more complicated hearing Mr. Lewis say they have snapped pictures together with his other kids. Something isn't right.
Told as a child that Mr. Lewis was your biological father?
Your Honor, my mom never told me that Mr. Lewis was my biological father.
Miss Scott ruins Mr. Lewis's claim of being her father as she recounts how Mr. Scott, who she knows to be her father, has been the man that not only stood as a father figure in her life, but as her biological father. Ms. Scott has loved her entire 35 years believing Mr. Scott is her father, as opposed to what Mr. Lewis believes.
You've been a father to your daughter.
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
And you believed she was your daughter.
No ifs, no ands about it.
You were married to her mother.
Yes.
Her mother is your wife.
Exactly.
Just like Ms. Scott, Mr. Scott also believes he's the biological father of the woman he's standing right next to in paternity court. He doesn't even have any doubt. Well, things take a different turn with Mr. Lewis talking about how he was an unhappy man and Mr. Scott's wife was an unhappy woman and they fell in love.
We became involved and we had probably an 8-year relationship. She told me that at 7 months, she asked me, who do you think this child is?
Wait, what? 8 years relationship while being married? Even single folks don't get that kind of opportunity. Maybe they must have really been in love, as Mr. Lewis said, but a divorce would have sufficed to end the marriage and keep their love flame burning. Anyway, according to Mr. Lewis, Mr. Scott wife were pregnant and confessed to him that he was the father.
Miss Scott, when's the first time you remember meeting Mr. Lewis?
When I was little, I used to be up under my mom's tail all the time. Everywhere she went, I had to go.
Mr. Scott's wife did some real damage, and she isn't even present in court. Ms. Scott was told Mr. Lewis was a friend, and she believed it, but she was a kid and she didn't know any better. Maybe some other kids would tattletale to their father, but Ms. Scott trusted her mother more than she should have.
And now you have to look at the man who you've believed all your life is your biological father. And now you have to have very real questions because your mother has finally, after 35 years, validated those questions.
Mr. Scott has played the role of an exemplary father with the way Mrs. Scott describes how he's been her hero over the years and made things run smoothly in every corner of her life. Mr. Scott doesn't look like he can get over the shock of finding out about his wife's 8-year-old affair, though.
Instead of having me go through years and years of pain, looking at my family, hearing family members even say that, I'm not his.
Ms. Scott's paternity has even been questioned a few times, and her mother still decided to keep everyone in the dark. That woman knows why she didn't show up in court. Ms. Scott, Mr. Scott, and even Mr. Lewis are all victims of Mr. Scott's wife's messy relationship, but it's time to know who really fathered Ms. Scott. Will it be the hero or the man that decided to make things right decades later?
Is the father of Ms. Crystal Scott. It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Lewis.
Many kids would grow up to find clips of their biological father denying them because most men just want to lay with a woman and ignore the consequences of their actions. There are also some children that will grow up to find clips of their mother being a joker in the courtroom after the paternity test result has been announced. Either one of these options will apply to Ms. Moyet or Mr. Lester.
Moyet, you're here in court today to prove that Mr. Lester, a man who is 20 years older than you, is the father of your 3-month-old daughter, Nyla Moyet. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lester being 20 years older than Miss Moyet tells a lot about their confusion as to the biological father. Well, Miss Moyet says Mr. Lester is the father of her child, and he owes her a couple bucks for not participating since the child's birth. Mr. Lester, on the other hand, says Ms. Moyet has been with every dude in the neighborhood, and that makes him certain he's not her baby's biological father.
Well, Your Honor, Mr. Lester has hardly been involved in Nyla's life. Besides the fact of 3 cases of diapers, a onesie that he bought for her, which was a boy outfit.
3 packs of diapers, Ms. Moyet claims she and her mother have been the ones shouldering the responsibility of her daughter since birth. Well, Mr. Lester claimed he also had about 1 or 2 contributions to the baby's life.
What was his reaction, Ms. Moyet?
He was not happy. I actually planned this pregnancy. I went over to his house the day I was ovulating, okay? And I let him know, babe, I'm ovulating. I want to have a baby. We did nothing.
That is not true.
Yeah, we did nothing to prevent Nyla.
Ms. Moyette went over to Mr. Lester's house while she was ovulating? That sounds like she was just trying to trap Mr. Lester with a baby, and now she's pissed he's not entirely participating in her baby's life. Ms. Moyette says Mr. Lester wanted it too, but Mr. Lester denies ever saying that, as he mentions they are not even having a sexual relationship at the moment, as opposed to Ms. Moyette's testimony.
That this is all in her mind?
Yes, Your Honor, it is definitely in her mind.
We've had sex, and I don't know why you're lying. Like we just had sex yesterday.
Ms. Moyette planned to have a baby, but she seemed to have forgotten to plan to be able to care for the baby all by herself in case Mr. Lester ditches her. Okay, Mr. Lester already switched positions. He claims they haven't had sexual intercourse earlier, and now they did the night before showing up in paternity court? That's unexplainable.
Either you had sex with her during the time when Nyla was conceived?
Yes, I did.
And that sex was unprotected?
Without protection, no.
Your Honor, that's a lie. Me and they have never used a condom since the first time we've ever had sex.
And there it is. Only Ms. Moyette wanted to have a baby. Mr. Lester wasn't interested in having one. Maybe Ms. Moyette set up her baby for rejection, but Mr. Lester should have known better by having protected sex to avoid situations like this. And he doesn't even seem like he has learned his lesson because he still did it again last night. Baby number 2 it is.
I did want a sexual relationship without being in a committed relationship.
Maybe a larger part of the blame can be placed on Ms. Moyette, but there's Mr. Lester who could have acted his age and not mess around with Ms. Moyette since he wasn't ready for a committed relationship or a child. Mr. Lester could have just zipped up and called it a day, week, month, or year.
Only did we use a condom
I never used a condom with Nathaniel. Why would I get on national TV and say I never used a condom?
Yeah, that's not a good thing, Ms. Moyette, and so is yelling on national TV too. Moving on, Mr. Lester claims he has about 5 reasons to doubt he's truly the father of Ms. Moyette's child. Maybe his reasons are valid, but only the DNA test result can confirm if his doubts are right or wrong.
I know how old I am, and I know what sex leads to. And I just want to point out to you the percentages of older men having babies and how it declines.
Some more research.
Yes, some research.
Mr. Lester really came prepared to fight this paternity case, but that wouldn't change the DNA test results though. Mr. Lester believes his sperm are already slowing down, and with Miss Moyette's alleged promiscuous lifestyle, the baby definitely belongs to one of her other sexual partners. Let's find out if that's true.
Moyette versus Lester. Pertaining to 3-month-old Nyla Moyette. It has been determined by this court, Mr. Lester, you are Nyla's father. Don't really understand whether you want Kason to be your biological child or whether you don't.
He don't understand nothing.
I do, Your Honor.
A man wanting the child to be his in paternity court is rare, but here's Mr. Sterling admitting he wants that. But Ms. Harris says he doesn't want the child to be his. That's confusing because Ms. Harris is in the paternity court to prove what exactly then? Let's see how this case will turn out.
You claim that your 15-year on and off relationship with Mr. Sterling has produced a baby that he is trying to get out of helping raise. You are here to prove paternity and force him to step up. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
15 years on and off relationship? The relationship must have kicked off from when these two were in high school, but it seems to be in a bad place right now. Ms. Harris says she wants Mr. Sterling to step up as the father of her child, but Mr. Sterling doesn't believe he's the father of the child, and he's just waiting on the DNA test result to prove that and allow him go his way.
You say you're not going to raise this baby alone?
Yes, Your Honor. Basically, Mr. Sterling needs to step up and take care of his baby that he knows is his.
How come Ms. Harris is changing her own words in the same breath? First, Ms. Harris wants Mr. Sterling to step up and take care of the child they allegedly had together, and in a couple of seconds after Mr. Sterling claims that's not his baby because Ms. Harris herself already told him so, Ms. Harris switched to saying her reason for mentioning that is because she wants Mr. Sterling out of her life. Which one exactly does Ms. Harris want?
What I'm saying is I want to understand your doubt. First off, you're saying she's told you point blank you are not Kason's biological father.
Yes.
Ms. Harris rang a bell of Mr. Sterling possibly not being the father of her child, and that isn't going anywhere in his head. To top it all off, Mr. Sterling believes Ms. Harris was sketchy about the pregnancy because the conception dates don't match with the last time they were intimate. Mr. Sterling is onto something here.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
First of all, they told me the HCG number of the blood test showed that I was between 6 to 8 weeks. When I went to my primary care gynecologist, they confirmed that I was 6 weeks pregnant, and because of my last menstrual period that was on February 1st.
Ms. Harris is trying to let the judge know things got a little bit mixed up, but just as the judge responded, nobody claimed Mr. Sterling's statement is the truth, as he was simply trying to tell the judge what his doubts are based on. Mr. Sterling's doubts stem from Ms. Harris's words said out of anger and the timeline of the pregnancy. Ms. Harris can explain her own side of the story when it's her turn.
When she was 8 months pregnant, she told me that it was another guy who could be the baby's father.
Yeah, it's not funny, Ms. Harris. Ms. Harris is trying to play it off by sneaking in some laughs like the baby's paternity isn't serious. Ms. Harris told Mr. Sterling even during pregnancy that there could be another father. That would shatter any man that truly wanted to be present for the child, but Ms. Harris doesn't seem to know about that seeing her reaction in court.
Tell this other man you were pregnant?
No, because it was not a possibility because I did not have unprotected sex with this man like I did with Chris when I conceived.
So you never
So
told
he didn't tell you that part.
So you did have sex with the other guy, but you used protection?
Yeah.
That's what she says. I don't know.
That's what I did.
2 to 3 weeks? And Ms. Harris is still shrugging her shoulders like the information isn't important in her baby's paternity case? Well, Ms. Harris claimed she had protected sex with the other man, and that's the reason she doesn't believe it could be a possibility. But Mr. Sterling won't let those words fly because he believes Ms. Harris is a liar, and that's the reason they are in paternity court today. Whew.
Issue is, you don't want to take care of another man's child. You want to know if this child is yours. You don't believe this child is yours.
He don't like responsibility, Your Honor.
And Ms. Harris, you believe he's avoiding responsibility.
He avoided responsibility. Let me tell you something. Whether my son is or is not his, he don't take care of himself or the one that he knows is his.
Oh wow, now we all see the reason this has been going on and off for 15 years. These two seem to still want one another, but there are outsiders in the mix, and they keep playing the rat and cat game. Ms. Harris says Mr. Sterling just doesn't want to take responsibility, but Mr. Sterling says that's false. He just doesn't want to take care of another man's baby. Okay.
4 months, she texted me, and when she texted me, she said, the baby is somebody else's. She said it again. I couldn't believe she told me through a text again.
Once.
No, you told me again through a text 4 months later and told me that it wasn't mine again.
Hold on.
Ms. Harris says Mr. Sterling is illiterate and he didn't even finish high school, but she was comfortable enough to get pregnant with his baby? And the broke ass part? Okay, Ms. Harris. But the point Mr. Sterling was trying to make is that Ms. Harris mentioned that he wasn't the baby's father again. That's enough reason for anyone to have serious doubts. Let's find out if Mr. Harris's doubts are valid.
Comes to 11-month-old Kason Sterling. It has been determined by this court, Mr. Sterling, you are the father.
There are men that would gladly jump at a DNA test to find out if the baby is theirs or not. Also, there are men that would do anything to avoid getting a DNA test done for reasons best known to them. Mr. Durden in this case happens to be one of those men that dislike the idea of a DNA testing, even though he's already in paternity court.
You say getting pregnant at the age of 17 pushed you into adulthood sooner than you expected. You claim Mr. Durden is denying your 15-month-old son, Ian Durden Jr. You are asking the court to order a paternity test so you can prove he is the father because you're struggling financially to make it on your own.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Durden, you say the court should not order a DNA test because you are 100% sure that you are not Ian Jr.'s father.
From high school sweethearts to not seeing eye to eye on the baby they have allegedly made together. Pathetic. Ms. Foster says she had to grow up faster than she was supposed to due to motherhood, and she's in court to get a DNA test that would prove Mr. Durden's involvement in making the baby to make him step up to the plate. Mr. Durden says he's not interested in getting a DNA test because he knows for certain that he's not the father.
Has Mr. Durden contributed anything at all for the baby?
No, Your Honor, he has not. I'm a single parent. Maybe once a pair of shoes when he was a little baby, but other than that, I pay for all the expenses, shoes, clothes, car seat, outings, anything you can think of, pretty much done by myself.
And so, Mr. Durden, you haven't helped at all?
No, I haven't. And the simple fact because I haven't helped because I don't want to get too attached to a baby that's not mine.
He has your name.
Yeah, Your Honor, I agree with that. And the reason because he has my name is because I was kind of like pushed to sign the birth certificate.
No, that is not true. We used to talk all the time about, you know, if we have children, like I want my son to have my name.
I want to have my son to have my name.
Your Honor, he is definitely the father of this child.
Ms. Foster claims she is a single parent, and that has been taking a toll on her. Mr. Durden gets asked why he's not been participating in the child's life, and he responds he's not about to get attached to a child that he knows isn't his child. That's funny because Ms. Foster says the child has his name as per his request, but Mr. Durden says that's on her because that's not his child.
Yeah, like my days are long. I call for the babysitter comes, I get ready for work, wait for the bus to come, get on the bus, go to work, come home, late nights, he sleep most of the time, so I don't even get to spend time with him when I get home.
According to Ms. Foster, things have been pretty tough for her as she has to raise her child all by herself without Mr. Durden's help. The situation is more painful to Ms. Foster as she claims their intimate session that led to the baby wasn't just a one-night stand because they were in a full-blown relationship.
Durden, I mean, the numbers don't lie. Without your contribution, this young woman she's sinking financially trying to take care of this child.
I understand that she is.
And you admit you have not participated financially to this point.
Yes, and the reason because every time we had sex, I used condoms.
And that is not true. And I have proof of that not being true.
And that's why you're saying, Mr. Durden, the court should not order a paternity test. There's no need because you say you used a condom every single time.
And if the DNA test result comes back positive, Mr. Durden better give everyone a heads up about the brand of condoms he was using his money to buy, so every man trying to stay protected for either STDs or a baby don't go close to the brand. To cut the long story short, Mr. Durden spent his money on condoms and not his alleged baby.
It's like, okay, I'm pregnant.
And even if that is the case,
if it's not the case, we did use condoms sometimes. Not all the time, not 100% of the time. No, that's not true. Me and Ian broke up. After that, he wanted to talk. He called me to a restaurant. We sat down and we talked for him. He just kept eyeing my phone. So when he was eyeing my phone, he took it, he ran in the bathroom with it, read some text messages that were between me and a guy that
saw a picture.
We were talking on social media. We were on a break. Me and Ian were not together. He was someone who was comforting me at the time. It was not anything. We never had sex or anything like that.
Ms. Foster did agree to Mr. Durden using condoms, but not every time, and everyone knows it only takes one time to make a baby. However, Mr. Durden's doubt seems to be rooted in the other guy Ms. Foster claimed to be her friend, and nothing more. Maybe Mr. Durden's doubt is valid, but he cannot just rule out that he's not a possibility when he also had unprotected intimate sessions with Ms. Foster.
So this is what you believe is the conception night when you all had the makeup sex, pretty much.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you did not use protection?
No.
Do you remember that night, Mr. Durden?
Not quite. I do not remember the night, but I do remember buying condoms.
Here we go again, listening to Mr. Durden's purchase of condoms, but is he really using them? Because that's the most important part. Ms. Foster claims the makeup sex was unprotected again. So much for Mr. Durden spending his entire savings on them anyway. Ms. Foster maintains that the other guy was nothing but a shoulder to cry on when things went sour between her and Mr. Durden.
The child was not his, tears or no tears. It's just like nobody forced you to do anything. You signed it because you wanted to.
The reason I come to the hospital because I wanted to try to be a man.
Finally, Mr. Durden agrees condoms aren't entirely safe, and Ms. Foster clocked that saying we're at the 2% because we really are. Mr. Durden also talked about how he didn't want to embarrass Ms. Foster and he was trying to be a man. Oh well, Ms. Foster said he left as a little boy. Ouch.
Convinced her to name the child after you, and you signed the birth certificate. I'm trying to give you the opportunity to prove to me why it is absolutely unnecessary for me to order a test, but the more you testify, the more obvious it is to me that a test is needed.
Yeah, right. That test needs to be done because it seems like Mr. Durden is just trying to get away with being the father of the baby, talking about someone calling and telling him they saw Ms. Foster with another person and that means she was flirting. Okay, Mr. Durden, let's skip to the DNA test result and forget the high school love story for now.
Mr. Durden, you are the father.
Can I say something, please?
What would you like to say, ma'am?
I don't think that I'm going to be able to get over the hurt. I'm overjoyed, that he knows now, that it's true. You are the father, but it's just like, what are you going to do differently?
Some people find their soulmates in high school and keep the love flame on until they are old and gray, but this is only about 5%. The remaining 95%? The teenage infatuation is sweet at first, but it soon becomes demanding and then toxic as some lead to unwanted pregnancies and broken relationships.
You and your mother say you are tired of the defendant's denial. He's the biological father of your 6-month-old son, and once the DNA results prove your claim, you demand to be reimbursed for Baby Lyric's childcare expenses. Is that correct?
Ms. Jones claims Mr. Houston fathered her baby, and after the DNA test result proves that, she wants him to pay up and be present in the child's life physically and financially. Mr. Houston is in the other stand with his mother claiming Ms. Jones is just jealous of his new relationship as she knows he's not the biological father of her baby.
Boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yes, we were boyfriend and girlfriend.
In high school?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Houston, do you think for yourself?
No.
You don't? Who thinks for you?
Yes, you do, honey.
Who thinks for you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes.
My son thinks for himself.
Mr. Houston had to hear his mother whisper to him that he thinks for himself before his brain cells told him that? Okay, that's worrisome, but it seems his mother thinks for him, judging by what's playing out. Ms. Jones said she broke up with Mr. Houston a week before prom, but Mr. Houston's mother cuts in saying it was a few days before the event. Oh, and there's a cheating allegation too.
Hold on, one at a time.
So once the phone would go off, my daughter would just ignore it. Well, all of a sudden she came to me and she said, "Mama, you wouldn't believe what came across Miss Jones's phone." And I was like, "What?" She said, "Look," and a gentleman said, "Did you have a good time last night?"
No.
Mr. Houston's mother laid more emphasis on the cheating allegation, claiming her daughter saw a message that was inappropriate and she showed it to her. Maybe Mr. Houston's mother felt that was wrong, but there could have been a different context to the text message. However, Ms. Jones flat out denies that sort of message ever entering her phone.
Dating, were you dating anyone else?
No, I was with him. I was faithful to him.
So you broke up around prom, the time right before prom?
A week before prom.
When did you find out you were pregnant?
I found out June 3rd that I was pregnant. And then like once I scheduled the date for my actual appointment to see how far along I was a whole month pregnant.
Mrs. Jones disclosed she was pregnant after 8 months? Not wanting to disclose it at first is understandable, but till the 8th month? She could have as well called when she went into labor. Mr. Houston's mother seems to love to be involved in her son's life very much, but she decides to step away when he got someone pregnant. That's very convenient.
Yeah, she didn't tell me until she found out she was pregnant.
Yes, Your Honor, that's how it happened. All of a sudden the phone call came.
Yeah.
Because you know these.
Yeah, so like I just psychologically.
And you 18
and
years
he was
old.
dating her.
With 2 girls pregnant at the same time.
At the same time.
Well, if you would have known the first one, maybe he wouldn't have did the second one.
Oh.
Mr. Houston got another girl pregnant at 18, and Mr. Houston's mother is still trying to blame everyone else but her son. Oh, okay. Seeing how Mr. Houston's mother is the one trading words with Ms. Jones, it's safe to say Mr. Houston really doesn't think for himself, but at least he can engage in reproductive acts all on his own. That's fair.
I asked for DNA multiple times, more than 3 times, because I already knew that me telling them at 8 months that I was pregnant, I already knew it was probably gonna be like some denial. So I offered the DNA test.
Mr. Houston's mother may have been off the track since, but she has a valid point saying 8 months was a long time for Ms. Jones to keep the information to herself. And now there's another allegation of how the manager of where Ms. Jones worked told on her, but Ms. Jones says she doesn't know anything about that particular incident.
Is this the dude that dated Nakisha? And I said, yeah, that's him. It was like, the dude told me, and that's over there stalking, and he pointed him out to me and was like that. He told him that he was the father of her child.
How was I even supposed to cheat or anything when I was with him the whole time?
No,
when did I even have time to cheat?
Mr. Houston's new girlfriend, who is already one of his child's mothers, also testifies to the manager saying another man could be the biological father to Ms. Jones' child. Ms. Jones claims that was not possible because she was with him the whole time or she was working. Anything can happen during work hours, Ms. Jones, but let's take Ms. Jones' words for it.
As to why babies don't need to have babies.
Yes, ma'am, you're right.
True.
I mean, it's just playing out.
That's true. That is so true.
It's like you all are a living PSA. No, really. For everyone to see, this is just so sad. And it's just so disrespectful on so many levels.
Yeah, right. Babies shouldn't have babies. Mr. Houston cannot even defend himself or talk confidently, but he got 2 girls pregnant. And to make matters worse, he doesn't even have a job and his mother keeps talking on his behalf. Enough of this teenagers and young parent circus. Let's get to the result.
Has been determined by this court. Mr. Houston, you are the father.
Boom!
While some men willingly sign birth certificates, even if they are not certain they are the biological father of the child, some men do not believe in that logic and they prefer to hold off on signing the birth certificate until a DNA test result proves they are the father.
You claim when the DNA results prove he is the father, you want the defendant's name added to her birth certificate, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Seuss believes Mr. Payne is her baby's biological father, but she knows his mother is the one getting in the way of him making the right decision for her and her baby, and she cannot wait for them to see she's been right. There's Mr. Payne saying Ms. Seuss has been sneaky since they got together, and he's not putting his signature on no birth certificate until the DNA test result proves he's the father.
So jealous and insecure about himself. Like, everywhere I go, he think I'm doing something. If I go to the store, I gotta be back in a certain time. Like, he's just crazy.
She lying. She been out there, Facebook messages.
You guys, they're both jealous.
We
They're
both
both jealous.
Of course I'm
doing it.
jealous. You were
Yeah,
my
she
boyfriend
doing
for
it.
like almost 3 years.
And while
18 and 20, and that tells us all we need to know. Ms. Seuss claims Mr. Payne is a very jealous dude, but Mr. Payne isn't even denying it, he accepted it. And there's Mr. Payne's mother on the side saying both of them are jealous lovers towards each other.
after we started talking, she went to the movies with some other guy, Facebook messages telling her ex she love him, this, and
Yup,
that.
but the next
Yeah.
day you did something with another girl and you was just telling your ex you loved her, so what's the difference?
You lying. You lying in court.
Happened fast? It takes just one time, Mr. Payne. Anyway, Ms. Seuss and Mr. Payne seem to still have unfinished business with their previous partners, seeing how Ms. Seuss texted her previous boyfriend, and Mr. Payne also ran back to his previous girlfriend.
What happened during the pregnancy?
There was a time when someone came up to me in a supermarket, and Miss Seuss and Mr. Payne, my son knows about this. A lady comes up to me and she goes, yeah, well, you're right to want a DNA test because she moves around. This lady, she knows.
Mr. Payne's mother seems really fair with her testimony, as she claims these two are always trying to score points when it's completely unnecessary, and they both agree they aren't innocent. Mr. Payne's mother is also right for wanting a DNA test to be sure if that is her grandkids, especially after hearing someone say something like that in the supermarket.
Take your time.
I've been doing this for so long by myself, it's like, I'm just fed up.
She didn't have to be alone. She chose to.
Yup,
that was
'cause
on
who
her. She
was
chose
there
to.
for me?
She chose to. Me?
Okay.
Wait. Mr. Payne says you didn't have to be alone. Why did you choose to do this by yourself?
Because I've been independent for so long, for so many years by myself. I was used to it, so it was like,
Ms. Seuss wanting Mr. Payne to be there for her but still pushing him away is confusing. Ms. Seuss says she's been independent for as long as she could remember, and maybe that was her reason for unconsciously pushing her alleged baby daddy away. Because as Mr. Payne and his mother claimed, it's hard to disappear when they were living in the same complex.
We're really close. We used to be really close. She was always around me. If she needed me, I was there. It's the back and forth between them, the breaking up, the doing things to hurt each other. I just don't want to be bothered. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad that she's alone. I let her know that if the paternity test come up that this is ours, I'm gonna be there. She won't be by herself, but I told her when she got pregnant and you told me, I told you.
Mr. Payne's mother has a better experience with her son, as she mentioned she was a teenage mother too. Mr. Payne's mother seems to not just want to be caught in the middle of their messy relationship. Mr. Payne and Ms. Seuss won't stop having arguments and going back and forth like they are currently doing in court now.
10 months you've been raising her on your own.
not on my own. Like, yeah, he comes in and, like I said, he comes in and out. I don't like that. If you're gonna stay out, stay out. If you're gonna come in, come in. Like, if she knows you're dad, stay in. Like,
If I ask you if you need help and you want me to be there and you tell me no, what more can I do?
all right, but when I
Okay, Ms. Seuss doesn't want Mr. Payne to be coming in and going out of her baby's life, and she's right about that, but Mr. Payne says she's the cause of that, as she wouldn't even give him complete access. Things are getting heated, and now we have to deal with these two arguing about the color of a stroller.
Do you know or have proof that she actually had sex with someone else?
I seen her at a party with a dude, and that was that was a couple weeks before we got back together. That's the last thing I could say.
During the breakup, were you having sex during the breakup?
No, we don't talk to each other until we decide we miss each other. Then that's it. Then that's when we have sex.
There's so much to unload in this situation, and yet so little understanding from both parties. This is complicated. Mr. Payne says he has doubts after he saw Ms. Seuss with a dude at a party. Ms. Seuss says she wasn't intimate with anybody during the break. Okay, let's find out who's telling the real truth.
You are the father.
Thank you.
I'm happy. Now I'm happy. Now I could be happy. All right.
Women who go from saying one man is the baby's father to going back on their word to claim another man is their baby's biological father are the reasons a DNA test should be mandatory immediately after birth. These women always think they can go back and forth about their child's paternity like it's some type of ball to throw around in the backyard. Hopefully Ms. Narvaez in this case is telling the truth.
Hello. You have brought your ex-wife to court and requested a paternity test to prove that you are indeed the biological father of her baby. Is it Yazeline? Yazelin. Beautiful.
Mr. Hicks wants the child to be his so bad because he has made a bond and connected with the child, but Ms. Narvaez wants him to stop fooling himself, as she claims her lover, who she had used to cheat on Mr. Hicks during their marriage, is the biological father of her child without a doubt.
Tell the court how you were deceived.
How I was deceived is that she said that the baby was mine. I believe that the baby is mine because the baby was made while we were married. And you try to say that baby isn't ours, I don't believe that.
Ms. Narvaez needs to participate in a biology class since she thinks the baby cannot come from Mr. Hicks' reproductive stem. Ms. Narvaez is standing on her 10 toes, claiming that's not Mr. Hicks' baby. Well, Mr. Hicks may have been thrown out of her house, but he wouldn't allow her to throw him out of the child's life too.
She was pregnant. She said that the baby was yours because when she got pregnant, it was on Valentine's Day. We were having sex consecutively in our 2-bedroom apartment. So you're talking about it didn't happen, but yet on Valentine's Day, you saying that you didn't sleep with me, but yes, you did.
Okay,
Doing it all in the shower all the time.
Oh, things are getting a little bit serious now. Mr. Hicks is letting the whole court in on their romantic, intimate sessions that may have led to the conception of the child. Mr. Hicks is even making his points with months and dates to prove he's certain that the baby is his. Ms. Narvaez is on the other side trying to include her new lover in the equation, but Mr. Hicks has a stronghold on the case right now.
When you married Mr. Hicks,
I was pregnant, Your Honor.
You knew or you didn't know that that was not his baby?
I knew the baby's not his.
And
I lost in contact with Daniel.
She lost
so I stayed
I want to
there.
hear who proposed to whom.
I proposed to him, Your Honor, because he couldn't man up and do it himself.
While you were pregnant?
While I was pregnant,
Your Honor.
With a baby that you knew was another man.
A whore.
Wait, what? Propose to a man while carrying another man's child? Ms. Narvaez really has to sit this one out and stop with the attitude because she's clearly in the wrong here. Ms. Narvaez made Mr. Hicks believe she was carrying his child and proposed to him, but she's still yapping about Mr. Hicks not being man enough to propose to her. Something isn't right.
I believe that she was having my kids because we were together at that time. She's sitting up over there, she had my son, little Robert, you know what I'm saying?
And because she told you.
And she told me it was my kid. You know what I'm saying? She never told me she was creeping around. She never said nothing like that. Honestly.
How did you not notice? You were so stuck in the damn TV playing video games that you didn't notice that?
She's trying to say video games, this
Ms.
and
Navarro,
that.
let me ask you
Come
something.
on now.
When I look at this picture, I see a couple that looks relatively happy. Were you happy there?
At
were
that
you
time,
pretending?
I was, Your Honor.
You were happy
I
then.
was at that
so
time.
there was a time when you met Mr.
When I
Hicks.
just stopped.
Playing video games shouldn't be a crime since the man was still able to provide for the family Ms. Narvaez. But okay, Ms. Narvaez claims there was a part of their relationship that was genuine, but that didn't last for long and Mr. Hicks didn't seem to notice.
It looks like me as when they were young. You let somebody
Nothing.
that try to say that it's not mine, that was obviously cheating and lying from the beginning. What makes you tell the truth now, huh? I mean, like you said that the
that's
baby
my baby.
is mine.
Why would I lie about her?
Because the baby looked like me when she was a baby.
No, she doesn't.
Look at the nose.
Look at the nose.
Look at the nose. Look at the curly
She looked like
hair.
her dad.
The only thing that's the resemblance is she is light-skinned. That is it.
That was a bullet response from Mr. Hicks. Ms. Narvaez says Mr. Hicks would look stupid if the result comes out negative, but Mr. Hicks says he wouldn't because it would just prove she's not for keeps. Okay, the skin color may play a big role in determining a baby's father, but there have been times black fathers turned out to be the biological father of white babies. Genetics can be very tricky, Ms. Narvaez.
It has nothing to do with the relationship. They put Daniel in, Your Honor.
There,
she has, okay, but it's your relationship. Girl, and it's your relationship, not hers.
You didn't say that when they, ooh, girl.
Yeah,
you
I didn't say that when.
You didn't say that when I was manning up at the house before you brought this guy up over here who doesn't have no job.
Ms. Hicks, I need you to sit down. And Mr. Osorio, I need you to stand. Was there anything she was hiding from you when she met you?
No, ma'am.
So
no.
everything about
you know
her
what?
life
She told me she didn't have no sexual contact with him. She wasn't living with him. Even her mom told me she wasn't living with him.
She was lying.
You know what I'm saying?
So when you met Ms. Navarro, you knew she was a married woman, but she just was not living with her husband. That's what you heard.
That's what
you were told.
Yeah.
Everyone is blowing hot. Mr. Hicks's sister seems to have an unsettled relationship with Ms. Narvaez. Ms. Narvaez didn't like her presence in the relationship and the icing on the cake. Mr. Osorio says he doesn't believe he's the father. Instead, he knows he's the biological father to the child in question. But Mr. Hicks is responding to that with a mocking laughter. Ooh, that's a lot.
The baby was not yours.
Oh, no, I did not. Not one time. She came to my father's house and told me that the baby wasn't mine. I said, we're gonna have to get a DNA test to prove that because I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
These folks are loud, but there are points to be picked up from their loudness. Mr. Hicks said he didn't willingly leave the baby's life. Ms. Narvaez made him as she ejected him to make space for her new lover. These people cannot get their point across without talking over each other. Maybe it's time to put the case to rest. Will genetics be playing its tricky game? Or Ms. Narvaez has been right all along? Let's find out.
Versus Navarez, and in regards to 2-year-old Yazelyn Hicks and whether Robert Hicks is the father, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Hicks, you are not her father. Mr. Morris, you say you are 100% certain that you are the biological father of the 29-year-old woman standing across the aisle.
Okay, paternity court fanatics, buckle up. We've got Mr. Morris, Mr. 100% certain, ready to unravel a saga of confusion, lies, and doubt. Honey, if that isn't the paternity court trifecta, I don't know what is. And his alleged daughter, not buying it. Her mom's here for healing. Oh, the drama is already simmering and the stove isn't even fully on yet. This is gonna be good.
I just feel 100% in my heart that she is my child.
Take me back. I want to understand the nature, how this relationship began. Were you boyfriend and girlfriend? What was Mr. Morris? Explain to the court.
So Mr. Morris, our supposed father, was a breakdancer back in '84, and he just pulled Ms. Smith? Smooth moves, I guess, both on and off the dance floor. He just felt it in his heart that she's his child. Is pulling someone the scientific basis for paternity now, folks? This is already wilder than a street dance battle. Make it make sense.
Yes,
was it a committed relationship?
Well, ma'am, I thought it was in the beginning. Yes, it was. It was. It's just that I had to go through a lot of turmoil in order to be with her because she was a queen.
A committed relationship, he says. Oh, but wait, there's more. In the same breath, he mentions turmoil because she was a queen with a legion of suitors. So committed, but also a free-for-all? My brain cells are short-circuiting trying to follow this logic. Which one is it, sir? The commitment or the royal court of admirers? This is pure gold already, people.
I came back to town after hearing it from 3 different individuals that she was pregnant with my child at the time, and we stayed in 2 different towns. So when I found out, when I heard it more than once, more than twice, I would say.
Plot twist, everyone. So Mother Smith apparently told Mr. Morris, none of these kids are yours, and he vanished. But then, like a boomerang of baby daddy drama, he hears from 3 separate sources she was pregnant with his kid and zooms back. The whiplash is real. Who are these mysterious informants? And why the sudden change of heart or perhaps convenient memory from someone?
So how old was Miss Brister at this time?
I would say she had to be 5, maybe 5 or 6.
So, Miss Smith, you remember telling him that Miss Brister was not his child?
Yes.
Get ready for this one, folks, because it's a doozy. So Mama Smith admits she told Mr. Morris the child wasn't his. Why? Because he wanted to rekindle their romance, and she wasn't interested. So, to dodge a date, you deny a dad? That's a new level of relationship management right there. Absolutely staggering. The audacity is almost commendable if it weren't so messy.
So he comes into town, he says, I'm your father. He stays a week, and then he leaves.
Yes, yes, Your Honor. My mother, she didn't really speak of him after that, and it went back.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I was in town for almost 6 months.
Okay, the timeline is out, and it's a roller coaster of who's my daddy? First, it's Mr. Birth Certificate. Then, Mr. Morris pops up like a jack-in-the-box. I'm your dad, only to vanish, and suddenly it's another guy. Then, fast forward, a deceased Mr. Woods enters the chat as a potential papa. This poor woman needs a flowchart, not a family tree. Unbelievable confusion.
Just didn't want her to, I just didn't want her to. I was trying to protect her. I was just trying to protect her.
Is it because you knew that more than one man could potentially be her father? Or is it because you believed Mr. Morris was her biological father?
And here come the waterworks from Mama Smith. She's claiming she spun this web of paternity lies to protect her daughter from Mr. Morris's apparently questionable lifestyle. Oh, the noble sacrifice. So rather than say co-parenting or setting boundaries, the solution was a revolving door of potential fathers. This is some next level protective parenting, if you can even call it that. Make it make sense, please.
You were how old?
This started when I was, I think around like 8, 9, maybe 10, when I was told, when I remember.
When you remember
her saying that the man on my birth certificate wasn't my father.
Wait a minute. Now there's clueless Mr. Morris, who had been unaware of the numerous potential baby daddies of his longtime lover. Isn't that something? And aren't lovers supposed to be truthful to each other? Or is this just a game to Mama Smith? Another drama brewing? Or this tangled web just keeps getting messier by second?
I hope that, that me and Mr. Morris can have a relationship, that he could be a part of me and my husband's renewal ceremony, because we plan on renewing our vow, and I want to build a relationship with him and for him to be in my kids' life.
The tension is thicker than a forgotten milkshake. Ms. Brister, bless her heart, is still hoping for a relationship, for her kids to have a grandpa, if he's the one. After all this chaos, the anticipation is overwhelming, people. Are we about to witness a heartwarming reunion or a spectacular crash and burn? Place your bets.
Mr. Morris.
Yes, Shauna.
You are not her father.
What?
I'm very sorry.
Mr. White, you've brought your ex-wife to court today because you believe she mysteriously had your parental rights revoked for a girl you believe was your biological daughter, thus allowing another man to adopt her.
All right, folks, buckle up. Mr. White is here because his ex-wife apparently pulled a magic trick and poof, his parental rights vanished, just like that. And get this, it was for a daughter he's convinced is his. This paved the way for another man to adopt her. Seriously? The audacity is already off the charts. What a way to start, everyone.
That you are indeed Miss Tasha Mock's biological father, you would like her mother to pay you $5,000 for fraud resulting in emotional distress.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold on. Ms. Mock, the ex-wife, walks in claiming Mr. White isn't even the biological father. That's her big defense for the whole adoption drama. So her story is, he's not the dad, so some other guy adopted her. Oh, the plot thickens, people. This is already promising to be a wild ride of he said, she said. What a defense.
At that time, she must have believed I was the father because she put my name on the birth certificate. I was not able to do anything about it because I was incarcerated. 30 days after Tasha was born, she brought her to the jail, let me hold her. The day afterwards, I was shipped.
So get this, Mr. White drops a bombshell. She put his name on the birth certificate while he was in jail and then brought the baby, Tasha, for a visit. So at that point, she must have thought he was the dad, right? Make it make sense. One minute he's the father on paper, the next he's not? This is unadulterated chaos.
Filed and petitioned the court for divorce in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. It's allowed because I was incarcerated for a period exceeding 2 years. About a year after that, she petitioned the court to involuntarily terminate my parental rights to both my son and to Tasha.
And the drama escalates. Mr. White, acting as his own attorney from behind bars, mind you, fought the termination of his parental rights. And guess what? He won. Can you believe the dedication? This man taught himself law in prison to keep his kids. The court even agreed with him then. So what happened next? This is absolutely incredible. Pure determination.
That's the first time there was ever any question in my mind, really, that she was my daughter or not.
Ms. Mock.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are submitting to this court that Mr. White is not, in fact, her biological father?
I don't believe so.
The judge asks Ms. Mock if she was sleeping with other men, and she just casually admits, nope, I slept with one. Just one. Oh, is that all? As if that somehow makes it less of a tangled web. So there is another potential candidate for fatherhood. The nonchalance is quite shocking. Seriously, the nerve of some people is just, wow.
And is that the only time in your lifetime that you heard you could have another possible father?
No, after my brother had passed away, I found adoption papers and stuff. That's.
What did you read on those papers?
That my father was not Don White, it was another gentleman.
Now Tasha, the daughter, chimes in. She found adoption papers, everyone, and these papers apparently listed her adoptive father as her biological father. Wait, what? So the legal documents themselves were based on a lie, according to this. This is next level confusion. How does this even happen? The layers to this story are just peeling back one by one, revealing mess after mess.
I was trying to protect them.
So you were trying to protect your children because you didn't want them to have to go back and forth to jail to visit their father, or were you trying to protect Tasha because you didn't believe Mr. White was her father?
Ms. Mock claims that her motive behind her actions was to protect her children. Was it to protect them from jail visits or to spite Mr. White? This lady seems hell-bent on withholding crucial information. How did she manage to get another man to agree to adopting her daughter, especially without the self-proclaimed biological father relinquishing his rights?
So you're not hoping this other man is the father either?
No.
You're just hoping that when we leave this courtroom
that
today,
he is not the father.
You don't want her to know who her father is.
Judge Lake is not having it. She presses Ms. Mock, asking if she's secretly hoping the other man is the father. And Ms. Mock's defense? I just want my daughter to be happy. Oh, please. Is that the get out of jail free card for all this drama and deception? The judge sees right through that, I can tell. The tension is through the roof.
I'm ready for the results. Are you?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
30 years.
Tasha, I would like for her to come stand
Oh,
with me
you
with
would
the
like to see if she could stand with you. Would you like to?
I would like to.
You are more than welcome to.
It's the moment of truth, everyone. The DNA results are in. Judge Lake has the envelope. You can cut the tension with a knife. And look at this. Tasha gets up to stand with Mr. White. That says a lot, doesn't it? Regardless of biology, there's clearly a bond there. My heart is pounding. Are you ready for this? I'm not sure I am.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of White versus Mock, Mr. White, you are not the father.
Sorry, baby. I'll still help you.
Always believed the defendant was your dad until 2 years ago when you received a message from a man claiming to be your biological father. You are tired of the confusion and are petitioning the court for a paternity test.
All right, people, let's dive right in. So, Nerissa has gone her whole life believing one man is her father, a perfectly normal, stable existence. But then, out of nowhere, a mysterious message from a total stranger pops up claiming paternity. Just like that, a simple text throws 28 years of identity into absolute chaos. This is what we are here for, folks. This is premium, top-tier drama.
2 years ago, he inboxed me on Facebook, was saying that I'm his child, and when I'm looking like, wow, this is confusing, like, I didn't know. And then he had sent me a picture of me when I was like maybe like 2 or 3, and he was saying that I'm his child.
Whoa. So this guy, Lawrence Saunders, just slides into her Facebook messages and casually drops the "I am your father" bomb. And he has a baby picture of her to prove it? Seriously? This is not a sci-fi movie, this is supposed to be real life. The audacity is insane. This poor woman, Nerissa, is just trying to live her life. And now this.
Well, Mr. Johnson and I met when I was young. We fell in love, and we just was seeing each other, going places. He showed me things that I never saw before, and that made me fall for him, even though I knew he was married at the time.
Oh.
Make it make sense. The mother, Yvonne, just admitted she was having a full-blown affair with Mr. Johnson while he was a married man. A married man. And where was their romantic meeting spot for this secret love? Burger King. That's right, everyone. The home of the Whopper was also the home of this whole disastrous situation. You cannot make up this kind of material. What a circus.
Because I had went out to Maywood to see Mr. Johnson. And at that time, Mr. Johnson was at work, so I stayed around till he get off work so we can see each other. But in the meantime, I had went to one of my friend houses named Mr. Saunders, which I was dating before Mr. Johnson. Basically, I ended up having sex with him that day, and
Are you kidding me right now? So, let me get this straight. On the exact same day, this woman, Yvonne, was intimate with Mr. Johnson and the other potential father, Mr. Saunders. The same day. The level of logistical planning and irresponsible behavior here is shocking, to say the least. And this is beyond just a simple mistake. This is a masterclass in creating maximum confusion. Bravo, Yvonne, truly.
Her biological father.
yes, because Mr. Johnson and I had a connection, and pretty much Rissa was a love child. And I feel that Mr. Johnson was more.
Okay, this is peak absurdity. So the mother's proof that Mr. Johnson is the father is because Nerissa was a love child and they had a connection. Love now determines biology, does it? This is some next level delusion. She's not even trying to present a logical timeline. She's using pure emotion as evidence. The court must be absolutely losing its mind listening to this. What a defense.
Were you told you were the only possible father?
No, Mr. Sanders.
Okay, Mr. Saunders. All right, you were told Mr. Saunders was her biological father?
Yeah.
So wait a minute now, this is confusing.
Now, wait a minute. Mr. Johnson is saying the mother, Yvonne, told him for years that the other man, Mr. Saunders, was Nerissa's biological father, but she just sat here and claimed she always believed Mr. Johnson was the dad because of their love connection. Her story is changing faster than the judge can bang her gavel. This is pure deception and it's all coming out now.
Biological father?
Mr. Johnson didn't know that I was leading Mr. Saunders on, letting him know, Mr. Saunders, he was the dad as well. He didn't know that I told Mr. Saunders.
Hold up. So Ms. Yvonne didn't just play one man, she played both men. All for what? What's there to gain? Leading two potential fathers on, making a mockery of their fatherly responsibilities? Is there more to this, or is it solely sheer irresponsibility on a mother's part? We will have to see about that. My oh my.
Mr. Saunders also come to the hospital, Ms. Moffitt?
No, he didn't. And then when...
Did you let him know? Did you tell him?
Well, I didn't have any information for Mr. Saunders to let him know what's going on, but when Rissa came out of her coma.
Isn't that something? The man who was supposedly so persistent, Mr. Saunders, the one who sent the life-altering message, didn't even show up to the hospital when Nerissa was in a coma. He claimed to be her father, desperate to find her, but when she might be on her deathbed, he is nowhere to be found? The hypocrisy is just incredible. Some devoted father he turned out to be.
Are they the only two possibilities?
Yes, Your Honor, yes.
There are no other men out there that could say, I'm her biological father as well.
No, Your Honor, there are only two.
Here we go, folks. This is the moment of truth. Judge Lake has the envelope. Look at their faces. Nerissa looks like she's about to break. Mr. Johnson is holding his breath, a lifetime of doubt hanging in the balance. Even the mother looks terrified, probably because her entire web of cooked-up lies is about to be exposed for good. The tension in this courtroom is absolutely electric right now.
In the case of Moffitt versus Johnson, when it comes to 28-year-old Nerissa Moffitt, Mr. Johnson, you are her father.
Yes, oh my goodness. Ms. Alston, you've come to court to prove to the defendant, Mr. Holmes, whom you first met at the age of 15, that you are his biological daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, buckle up, people. Lauren Lake's paternity court is serving up some serious drama today. We've got Ms. Alston absolutely convinced Mr. Holmes is her dad. But wait for it. Mr. Holmes is like, nope, not me. It's David Alston, the guy on the birth certificate. Seriously? The stage is set for pure chaos. This should be lots of fun for everyone involved.
Because Miss Alston's mother, back in the day, she was like fast. And because I met her at the school bus stop, she was in high school. And 2 days later, after I met her, I had sex with her. I called her again a couple days later, asked her to come back.
Mr. Holmes just dropped a bombshell. He claims Ms. Alston's mother was, and I quote, fast, and it was just a booty call, twice. Is that his big defense for denying paternity? A booty call from decades ago? Oh, the audacity. This man is already trying to paint a picture, and it's not exactly a masterpiece of responsibility, is it?
Me and my father. The reason why I kind of like accepted her in, because I know how it feels to not have a father. But I kind of like don't believe that she's mine. This woman here was my mother and my father. So I'm the type that I know where she's coming from.
Get this, Mr. Holmes says he accepted Ms. Alston because he knows how it feels not to have a father. Oh, very noble, mister. Yet, in the same breath, he's still denying he is her father. Make it make sense. And now his mother, Ms. Peterson, is here. Is she going to clear things up or just add another layer to this confusing family saga?
And state your name?
Jenny Peterson.
Miss Peterson, you are Mr.
Holmes' mother.
Mother. What do you have to add to this situation? What do you know about what's going on here?
Up steps Mr. Holmes' witness, his mom. Grandma comes to the podium and says the mom came to her and informed her that Ms. Alston was Mr. Holmes' child, and so she rolled with it because nobody told Grandma anything about another potential father. But Mr. Holmes isn't having it. He says that for all of his 7 other kids, he used to know about them a few months after their births, but with Ms. Alston, he had to wait 15 years. Look, everybody, Father of the Year smells fishy business.
Ms. Alston, I have to ask you, do you have any inkling as to why your mother said one man was your father, then another man?
No,
did she ever give you a reason?
She never did.
Judge Lake is pressing Ms. Alston. Why would her mother lie about who her father is for all these years? And Ms. Alston's response? She has absolutely no idea. Isn't that something? We're digging deeper into this mystery, and frankly, the mother's motives are becoming the million-dollar question here. What was she thinking, playing with lives like this? Seriously.
Thank you for joining us today. I'd like to have you explain to the court. She says she was told for the first 15 years of her life that you were her biological father, and then all of a sudden she was given another name. What do you know about this?
15 years ago?
Whoa, they just brought in Mr. Alston, the man on the birth certificate, and the look on his face, pure, unadulterated shock. Can you imagine? You think you're a dad for 15 years, paying child support, and then bam, you're suddenly in court finding out your daughter thinks someone else is her father. This is peak absurdity, everyone. My mind is completely blown.
When I get these phone calls, it's all about money. Money, 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 money. If I ain't got the money, I get disrespect. I got 3 kids now, my other 2 kids. Never disrespected me, never treated me like that. If she called me up, first thing she say, "Now how you doing, Daddy? I need some money."
Oh, here we go. Mr. Alston, the birth certificate dad, is firing back. He's saying Ms. Alston only called him for money, not for a real father-daughter connection. And naturally, Ms. Alston insists it's all about wanting love and care. Money versus love, the classic courtroom drama. Who is telling the truth here? This tangled web just keeps getting messier by the second, doesn't it?
Did you let me move in? Did you help me find a roof? At that time, I was a parent myself, so I did not.
For 15 years, you thought that was man's your father. Why you asked me in 2010 and you think that was your father?
Well, that's a good question.
15 years ago.
And at that time, like I said, I was still trying to build a relationship with him because I'm very doubtful that Mr. Holmes is my father.
Ms. Alston is now doubting Mr. Holmes. The man she claims was more of a father figure than Mr. Alston is her father, and that's why she still needed financial assistance from Mr. Alston. But poor Mr. Alston is bamboozled and asks that if she thought the other guy was her father, why bother him at all? Which is a valid question. Seems no one in this family can just be straightforward for once. This is absolute foolishness, and someone needs to get their story straight. Unbelievable.
It shouldn't even matter if you know deep down in your heart, man. You should never. That's why I feel the way I feel, man. You a claimer, but yeah, you don't want to have nothing to do with it.
All right, everyone, Judge Lake has the envelope, and it's time for the big reveal for Mr. Holmes. This entire case has been a roller coaster, and the mom who created this mess didn't even bother to show up. Ms. Alston looks like she's about to cry, and Mr. Holmes is trying to keep his cool. Is he the father or not? The anticipation is absolutely staggering. This is what we've all been waiting for.
Mr. Alston, you are not Miss Alston's
Get
father.
Why'd she do that?
Lord have mercy. Oh my God.
Ms. Ware, you claim that after one night of passion with the defendant, you ended up pregnant, but he is now denying paternity of your 3-year-old son, Ayante.
All right, people, buckle up. So Ms. Weir here claims one passionate night with Mr. Wilson resulted in her son. But hold on, Mr. Wilson fires back, saying he absolutely used protection and there is simply no way he's the father. One night, 2 completely different stories. Can this be happening? This is already shaping up to be a wild ride, everyone. We are just getting started here.
8 years ago, just, passing through the city. I was going to hair school at the time, and, I would see him on my way to hair school. We would hang out with each other, potluck, he cooked something, I cooked something, bring it over to his house, or he come over to my house, long talks, this is my gay best friend,
Oh, your gay best friend?
Yeah.
Hold on, did she just say, "This is my gay best friend"? Are we all hearing this correctly? Her gay best friend is the man she's accusing? The man himself looks utterly bewildered. Folks, I am speechless. The audacity, the sheer drama of it all. What is actually happening in this courtroom? This is beyond belief. Is this real life or a script?
And
when you do your neck like that, that means you up to something. Okay, that's why you said it. Okay,
Yes,
go
ma'am.
ahead and
Yes,
be
ma'am.
honest. That's why we're here.
So Ms. Weir, our hero of the hour, admits she made the move on her gay best friend. She invited him for a cozy night, and because he didn't push her away, that was her green light? Seriously? That's the logic we're working with today? Make it make sense. The confidence is almost admirable, if it wasn't so completely baffling. What a strategy, truly next level thinking there.
When did you start even liking him?
Oh, I liked him from day one.
Oh!
I did. I'm confident about myself. He might think he's gay or whatever. That's why I'm thinking to myself, he think he's gay.
Ms. Wilson, confident about herself and in her ability to turn gay men straight, apparently planned this entire scenario from the beginning. So after she got him drunk, she made her move, he didn't push her away. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was her cue that consent was given and that she could go down with her gay best friend. Wild stuff, this.
Were you thinking this was just like another fun thing, another potluck?
Yes, Your Honor. I just thought we were just gonna be chilling, like we always do. Watch TV, drink, just do what we normally do. She kind of seduced me, we started drinking, I got intoxicated. One thing led to another.
And now Mr. Wilson claims she seduced him after getting him intoxicated. He says she started feeling up on him, and then, wait for it, it went from oral to, well, you heard him, Oh, the poor innocent man, led astray by his supposedly platonic friend. The drama, the accusations. This is pure television gold, people. Can you even imagine this scenario? It's too much.
Yes, ma'am, I was.
Were you sexually active with the other men?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
Were you using protection with those men?
Some I was.
Some?
Wow.
How many other men?
A lot of them, Your Honor. She don't even know.
How many? Say it loud and proud. You said you're a confident woman.
3.
The plot thickens, everyone. Judge Lake asks how many other men, and Ms. Weir casually says 3. 3 other potential fathers already tested, and in Mr. Wilson's opinion, a lot of them. So, are we talking a small village here? Are we talking about a paternity test or paternity lottery? The number is staggering. My mind is completely blown. How do you even let this happen?
You're saying you can't be the father, but she's had the DNA test with the 2 other men,
Yes, Your Honor.
and they've been determined to not be the child's biological father.
Mr. Wilson is standing firm, people. He is not the father, and he doesn't care what Ms. Weir has to say. You can hear the conviction in his voice. He's absolutely certain. Meanwhile, Ms. Weir is trying to interject, but he's not having any of it. The determination versus the desperation. This is getting more intense by the second. Who is telling the truth here? Incredible.
This is gonna be the 4th, and you sleeping with all of these men unprotected. Do you feel like, Mr. Wilson, you know for certain that there were more men besides the 3?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge Lake is laying down the law. She's pointing out that Ms. Weir has now mentioned 3 other men she's tested and was sleeping with them all unprotected. The irresponsibility is off the charts. This poor child, Ayanta, doesn't even ask about a dad. This is just sad, folks. Judge Lake is not holding back, and frankly, who can blame her? This is absolute foolishness on display.
All right, I believe I've heard enough. It's time for the results. Jerome? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostic, and they read as follows.
Here we go, folks. The moment of truth is upon us. Judge Lake has the results. Everything is hanging by a thread now. She's reminding them about their friendship, but more importantly, that little Ayanta needs to know who his biological father is. This is it, the culmination of all this chaos. Can you feel the anticipation? My heart is pounding.
Mr. Wilson,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are not the father.
Thank you, Your Honor. You know, I'm sorry, and I don't want to be the bad guy or nothing. I love her.
Ms. Woods, you are a self-proclaimed cougar, and you say you never imagined you would be giving birth to your 12th child at the age of... You admit you did indeed have Mr. Baker's best friend, and so now you're not sure.
All right, people, let's dive right in. The woman is a self-proclaimed cougar, and this is her 12th child at 43 years old. 12th! And the guy she's with? He thought he found the woman of his dreams. But hold on, it gets better. He now believes his own best friend could be the father. This is already a spectacular train wreck in the making, and we are just getting started.
Will join us shortly. But first off, Mr. Baker, what is it about Ms. Woods that first attracted you to her?
I really was intrigued by her energy. She's like the life of the party. Her mind is what captured.
Whoa, he just called her a dirty dish rag. A dirty dish rag trying to wash clean dishes. The sheer audacity of that comparison is absolutely staggering. He went from dreaming about her to comparing her to used cleaning supplies. This is not just drama, folks. This is pure, unadulterated pettiness on full display. What an opening statement. I am mind blown by this level of disrespect. What a guy.
That's a strong statement. So you suspect that your best friend could also be the father?
When I first found out about the pregnancy, I was actually excited. I want to be a father. We went to the doctor. You know, he was giving me the dates of conception. In that month, we really wasn't fooling around with each other that much. But so I gave her the benefit of the doubt.
And here we go. The classic "my cousin called me" revelation. So, 8 months into the pregnancy, he gets a call delivering the news that she slept with his best friend, Jimmy. 8 months! He's been rubbing her feet and cooking for this woman, all while she was playing games with his best friend. The betrayal is off the charts. Seriously, can you imagine getting that phone call? The absolute devastation.
And guess what? She also admitted that she don't know if the...
What in the world? You sleep with his best friend?
I'm blaming it on the alcohol.
First in this courtroom.
Y'all not understand that, but the thing of it is we had a little too much, and everything is about being at my...
Of course, she's blaming it on the alcohol. Everyone, let's all pull out our blame it on the alcohol cards. Because having a little too much to drink is the universal excuse for betraying your partner with his best friend. What a move. It was her 40th birthday, so apparently all bets were off. This is some top-tier excuse making. Kudos to her for the complete lack of accountability.
A chart that I made.
Jerome, and this or something, y'all. Now, why he showing you a chart like if I planned this? I didn't plan this.
I slept with her a day apart. One of us could be the father.
You've outlined in this calendar the dates of conception. Now, first off, you were intimate with Ms. Woods.
Wait, he even made a calendar. He actually created a visual aid, a chart of her intimate encounters, and presented it in court. This man is a different breed of prepared. He circled the dates of conception, intimacy with him, and intimacy with Jimmy because they both were intimate with her literally a day apart. This is a full-blown PowerPoint presentation of betrayal. My mind is completely blown by this level of dedication.
I really came here and I really want to apologize to my best friend. We've been friends for like 10 years.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I just try to look out for him, make sure he, you know what I'm saying, watch out for him.
Bro?
Yeah, bro.
You was looking out for me.
Yeah, bro.
How was you looking out for me?
This is a slick bucket right here.
If you was looking out for me.
And the best friend enters the arena, the confrontation we've been waiting for. Steven is completely losing it, and Jimmy just stands there with a smirk. He screams, asking why Jimmy didn't tell him he was a potential father. A valid question. A real friend would have given him a heads up, but Jimmy was clearly operating on a different set of principles. The tension in this room is insane.
Does a best friend end up in bed sleeping with the best friend's girl?
I just had to let him know that.
Oh, wait a minute. So you're saying you did this purposefully so you could expose the fact that she was asleep around?
Kind of, sort of, but I didn't want like that. It was just like it kind of happened, but I really wanted to expose it.
This is just wild. Jimmy is now claiming he slept with her to expose her because she wasn't good for his friend. Make it make sense. So your brilliant plan to protect your best friend was to sleep with his girlfriend? The whitewashing is insane. The logic is so twisted. It's a pretzel. What is actually going through his mind?
Doing better than
Why are you trying
son.
to tie that man down
Doing
like
better
that?
than you, son.
All right, let's get some order. You did care for Miss Woods, or you didn't think she was your best friend at the time?
No.
So Jimmy, Mr. Baker's ex-best friend and knight in not-so-shining armor, says he is looking out for his friend. In fact, she has 11 kids and is trying to tie his friend with her 12th. He isn't the bad guy, Ms. Woods is. She's a terrible, terrible person, and he was merely experimenting to prove a point, but unfortunately, he didn't have the chance to tell his friend the results of said experiments. The gospel according to lying Jimmy, I guess.
If I am the father, I will step up.
I know he'll be a good father, y'all. He been there the whole 9 months. Like
I don't want nothing to do with you,
He rubbed
though.
my feet. He was there. He took care of me. So I want him back. I mean, I just want us to be a family again.
Here we are, the moment of truth. 2 men, 1 woman, 1 baby, and 2 envelopes that will either ignite or extinguish this dumpster fire of a situation. Jimmy looks stressed, while Steven looks like he's about to have a full-blown meltdown. Janine is just hoping for the best, I suppose. Who is the father of baby number 12? The suspense is almost too much to handle, everyone.
Mr. Baker,
Responsibility.
you are not her father. Wrong.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.